What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. Today I'm going to show you how to tint the side markers on a Lexus IS 250/350. It's these guys right here, side markers / indicator lights. We're going to be tinting them in Vvivid yellow air release tint. This stuff's extremely easy to use. I've been using it for years. You can tint lights that are much more difficult than this one. You can actually tint these ones right here if you really wanted to. Customer didn't request that. We just finished wrapping this entire car in satin black, and the car looks amazing actually. So this is the final touch to finish it all off. If you guys notice this little action camera on the side of my head, this is a 4K camera that sits on the side of my head with a gimbal built in. It's for me to give you guys those really up close details on what I'm actually doing. And if you guys are looking for those exclusive videos on how to wrap, check out my website, ckwraps.com. I'll put a link in the top corner and in the description below for you. Check it out. There's a forum, discussion forum there. You guys can ask questions, help each other out. I help you guys out all the time. Tons of stuff on there. Lots and lots of videos, including disassembly. And now that I have this 4K camera on the side of my head, you guys are gonna get even a better view of what's happening. But today I'm gonna show you what this camera looks like when I wrap these lights right here. Let's do it. I've got my camera rolling right now. We're gonna do a couple of things here. So what you're gonna need is obviously some isopropyl alcohol. I've got that. We need some masking tape. I've got that, and we need our tint. I'm just gonna put the tint on the hood, and we're gonna do some masking. I'm gonna show you guys what these lights look like when I'm done with the lights on, okay? Because I know you guys get really upset when I don't show what they look like with the lights on. The reason why we're masking right now is to allow the film to slide off of the surrounding area. Now this front bumper, I did just wrap it, but it has been repainted. So it's a little bit rough, it's in some rough shape. So if you notice some stuff, it's mainly just the bumper. We don't need to mask much more than that. It's just the stuff that's kind of in the way. Let's do the other side. And then we're gonna get into actually wrapping them, cleaning them, and then wrapping them. Yeah, this is a tough bumper. This bumper is, it's not like it's so long to do this front bumper. It's actually just very hard to do the cut and drops. So if you're looking, again, for this bumper video, it will be on my website. It won't be yet, but it will be soon on how to actually wrap this thing. Lots of inlay setups. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see any of them. Probably can't. We were staring right at them, actually. And if you guys missed them, then I did a good job. All right, let's make sure that's all flat. Yeah, you can see some stuff in the paint here, is what it is. There's tons of pitted stone chips and things like that in the bottom area there. That was like the worst spot. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna spray off the rag just a little bit. I've got my heat gun kicking around over there. We're gonna get around all the edges here just to make sure that everything's nice and clean, ready to go. The nice part about tint is like we don't have to wrap all the way around the edges. It's actually pointless to wrap all the way around the edges. You can if you feel like your wrap's not gonna last. That doesn't really make a lot of sense though, because you should be alleviating all tension from the edges. Again, I'm using 70% isopropyl alcohol. You don't wanna use anything too strong. You could crack the lens. Just make sure we got off any insects and things like that, and any grease, tar, so on. Great. I'm just gonna plop this down right here. I'm gonna grab my heat gun, which is sitting right here, and just dry them off slightly. It won't take much more than that. You can see the, looks like the light, the halogen light in there, or if there's a halogen light in there, has sort of burnt the lens. It happens. Will it burn the tint? I honestly have no idea. So we're gonna size this up. Cut that about here. Again, you don't need much to do this. You need a squeegee, a knife, a heat gun. You don't even really need a heat gun. You probably do this with a hairdryer, to be honest. So I size that up, and then we're gonna take this and actually fold it in half. And that's gonna give us both out of one cut. Just roll that around this way. I could just use the markings on the backing to cut it right down the middle, but I just folded it. It's actually gonna keep it more straight anyways. Perfect. Let's put that extra piece there. We can start on this side here. Now, the trick is to obviously get the film onto the area without adding tension. Okay, this is what the tape is for. So what I'm gonna do right here is squeegee this down really nicely, and we're gonna start rolling off the release liner. And let's just lay this all down without tension, okay? Amazing. How hard was that, right? We're gonna take this, and you don't have to wait for this to dry, right? This is already dry. With like wet app stuff, yeah, you do typically have to wait a little bit. This is already dry, this stuff. Work the film in, down, and around here. Great. Easy, right? Let's lift off of the, see the tape doesn't want to stick to the actual car because it's satin. Let's lift off the tape. And we're gonna squeegee down to the very edge. Amazing. Right here. Cool. These are pretty much done. I got a little bit more to do. So we're gonna add a little bit of heat, just finish up the edges and stuff. Make sure it's nice and tight. All up in there. All down in here also. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a bit of a relief cut since it's not sitting the way I'd like it to. We're gonna cut right there. This is what the tape's also for, so we can cut on it without worrying about cutting our wrap or the car. Good, we're gonna add a little heat down here as well. And you don't wanna add too much heat. You could crack your lens. That looks great. Now what's our next step? Our next step is to cut. I'll show you how quickly and effectively you can tint these lights. Now, run your blade like so along the edge. This camera is going to give you all the detail you need. Again, we don't wrap around the edge. We're wrapping a transparent lens with a translucent film. It does help to have a sharp blade. Now I'm going to start in down here. It does help to have a sharp blade. I'm going to make sure that we're right to the very end of it, because we should be. There we go. Run my blade on the bottom side of the actual light itself. Work my way all the way back. And then finish this off right there. I'm gonna take this, make sure I got my last little cut right here. Good, we should be good. Oh, I didn't cut all the way through there. See why I take your time. Why you take your time. There we go. Okay, now, so we've done up here. We've got to finish it off a little bit more. So let's go in here, come around the curve, really as carefully as you can, and then come across the top side here, right in there, and then come down and around like so. It's okay if the tape comes off, I don't need it anymore. Now, we have one more thing to do. We have to finish up the edges a little bit. So all I do is add a bit of heat and mold them around. Because the edges are gonna be unfinished. Even though we trimmed it off at the edge, they're still gonna be unfinished. So we need to hit it with heat afterwards to make sure we finish them off. It's very important. Great. You can remove this. You can remove this. And look at that light, it looks nice. I usually add a little bit of heat to my tape when I remove it. That looks pretty good compared to the other one over here, which we're about to do. I like it. I never would have thought to do yellow tint. On a black car, it does look good. I'm gonna put one more piece of tape right in here, since it was a bit more resistance on the other side. There we go. You learn your lesson from one side to the next. We're gonna take our piece again, unravel some of the release liner, get it positioned and lined up. It helps to just get the very end of the film basically to the end of the light like this, right there. Just like that. That helps a lot. It makes it a little bit easier. That's a little trick for you guys. So as I come along here, I'm gonna try not to have it stick to anything and just lay this down. Really nicely like this. This way I can kind of just get in there and cut afterwards and I'm done. It's all about manipulating the film. That's what you want to do. Cool, that's looking good. Look like we're good all the way to the edges. I'm going to start back here. Poke through in the space and come all the way down and around. Get rid of that piece. There goes the tape again, no big deal. Let's get in here. Look how my knife is hovering on the edge of the lens. I'm not poking into anything, okay? This is how you do this safely. Okay, that's loose. Let's come around here. Let's actually get this down in here a bit better. There we go. Wasn't confident with that a second ago. Good. Let's get in right up here. Let's push that back down again. I'm kind of pulling it out as I'm cutting. If you have a little excess, no worries. You can just wrap it around the edge if you really want to. That right there, in detail, is how it's done. I gotta go over these edges with heat again. That's an absolutely mandatory thing to do. Tape's all stuck to me. So again, we're going to take our heat gun, just kiss it with a bit of heat. Keep the heat gun further back. I don't want to heat too closely. And I usually use the buffer side of the squeegee first. And that will finish it up really nicely. You look good. Stand back here and have a look at what they actually look like. Looks nice. Just to kind of give you a glimpse over of the rest of the car. This is what we're looking at. Nice little dent there, that's all right. It's a gas cap door, you can probably get that replaced. But this is what the wrap looks like on the car. Taillights are tinted by someone else, I'm not sure who did them, but they are tinted. The wheels are super nice. Nice little Workmeisters. That's it. All right, guys, that's how you tint the lights on a Lexus IS 250/350. Side markers or indicator lights on the bottom here. Tinted again in yellow, Vivid Air Release tint with the new HD 4K camera. attached to my head, giving you guys that full-blown point of view of what I'm actually doing in all detail, the cutting, the trimming, the laying, all that stuff. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is a recommendation by one of my followers, one of my subscribers, and thank you for the recommendation because this camera is amazing. Compared to the last ones that I had, the glasses, this is way better. Guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.